Welcome back to another episode, Talks with AJ Podcast. I'm your host. Today I have a special guest, Mr. Calisthenics himself, Smooth Brother. Allow me to introduce to you my brother Win.
Yo, what an introduction, brother.
Appreciate that, man. Hey, bro, I had to, man.
Well, first and foremost, I just want to say that I'm proud of you.
Thank you, bro.
But got to give my brothers their flowers while they're doing things, outside of their comfort zone. So I love how, the growth that I'm witnessing from as long as we've known each other. So all in all, I'm proud to be invited on your show, bro.
Appreciate that, bro.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate
Yes, sir.
that. And I know you have a lot of gems you're going to drop on us today, bro. And I'm really looking forward to it. The audience is looking forward to it, bro, because you're a very knowledgeable brother.
Thank you, brother.
I watch your growth. Of course, I've been knowing you for 30 plus years. I remember when you had nothing
Right.
to where you at now.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying, bro?
Literally, rags to riches
situation,
right?
bro. So yeah, bro, man. I wanted to start it off, man. I see that you've been on your health journey, your fitness, man. Tell me how that's been going on, bro, and how did you get to that point, bro? What motivated you to want to take your health serious and get into the fitness world, bro?
Okay, well, for starters, I've always been in fitness, right? But now, granted, it hasn't been consistent, but nonetheless, I've been in fitness. But the biggest thing that actually helped me get into fitness at this age, should I say, was because I was going through a tough time in my life, right? So I went through a 2-year season where everything just felt like it was falling apart. And falling apart basically implicating I lost my dad to cancer, I lost an aunt, childhood bro, and then just other things started happening to the point where it felt like everything around me was falling off, right? Now, but here's the blessing behind it. It was actually one of the biggest blessings to happen to me of all of these things. How should I say this? Crumbling from what I perceived as a breaking point. I didn't know that God was actually rebuilding me through this whole process. So how fitness came along, back to your reference point, I needed an outlet to be my therapy, right? So there's praying, right? And as I was praying, I started fasting more, right? And as I was growing spiritually, one of the biggest things that I was feeling led to was fitness, right? And so this fitness was actually helping me with these grieving processes that I was running from. Now, as I was running from it, the fitness was actually helping me to confront them, right? So there's a lot of people right now who's going through a lot of things right now. And the reason why I shared the story about, being vulnerable, like I lost my dad, I lost this and that, is to give an understanding that you're not alone when you're going through hurt, right? I wasn't going to go public to the sense of posting my latest social media post with me being vulnerable, but it would have been selfish of me, the fact that I went through all of these things and I came out and I didn't share that story to let someone know who's going through that you can come out of it.
Understood.
Because there's a point where it feels like you just feel like giving up.
Right.
But I couldn't give up because I knew too many people relied on me. So whoever's watching this, I need them to understand that whatever it is that you're going through, there's a purpose behind it. There's a reason why God allows you to go through pain, right?
Yeah.
And first of all, because now it seems like I'm digressing from your sense of your question as far as the fitness goes. The reason why I would advocate for anyone who's going through something to go into fitness is because it gives you an outlet to take out whatever it is that you need, right? The frustration, the hurts. Granted, there's people who's going through heartbreaks. Why is it every time someone goes through a heartbreak, from a male's POV, first thing we do, we run to the gym. Right?
Yeah.
So obviously there's some form of therapy in the gym.
Yeah.
So the gym doesn't necessarily have to just be a one dimension thing where I just want to get in shape. No, it's a bigger process behind it. Because say for someone who hasn't been in the gym as often as they should.
Right.
And then trying to get to an end goal that you want to get to, which is being in shape, right? The road to that actually leads to character development. So that's why for me, I couldn't do anything to expedite the process, because I knew for a fact that there was going to be a healing process through this. So once I got in shape, I started realizing that my dad's situation, my aunt's situation, my grandma's situation, there were lessons behind that. And one of the biggest revelations that I got from it while at the gym was, my dad, what did I learn from that? It doesn't matter how hurt you are, this person has hurt you, because we've got a lot of stories where kids are affected by fatherless homes, right? Or the moms not being able to love them properly, right? And one of the things I realized is you have to forgive them.
Yeah.
So for me, instead of asking the question, why, Lord, why me, when everything was crumbling down, the more that I became more stronger spiritually and physically, I started asking God, what am I supposed to learn from this?
Yeah.
And that's when my world changed.
Right.
And the moment my world changed, all of those mishaps, bad business deals, or feeling like, sudden depressions or whatever the case may be, they no longer were a problem.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So now with every passing day, I was leading myself to my deliverance.
Gotcha.
Right? So now with that being said, now I got to a point where my dad, like I was telling you, his situation was the art of forgiveness. I have to forgive. That forgiveness was not for him, it was for me. Right? And granted, he was a dude trying to figure it out as well. Right? So I have to understand that from a male POV. My aunt's situation and my grandma, you can never be too busy for family. Sometimes we get so caught up chasing the bag, because society actually puts us in a mindset that you have to chase, not realizing that you're missing, it has to come at a balance, because something has to get sacrificed while you're chasing something. And you don't want that sacrifice to be something that's money can't buy. And that's time with family. Right?
Bingo.
So these are things that, these were things that I learned on my journey. And the reason I'm sharing it is because, granted, it's not a one size fit all testimony, because everyone's going to go through their story.
Yeah.
But I do want it to inspire someone to say, you know what? I'm fighting back. I can't give up. I'm going to make this happen.
And
right?
I'm proud of you, bro.
Yeah. This is what I had to do. Now, one of the things that God revealed to me that was actually, it was very profound, was the season that you're going through, it involves you, but it's not about you.
Oh, that's deep. That's deep.
Now think about it. Had I not made the decision to actually say, you know what, Lord, you know what, let me just get back in the gym, because the body is the temple for the Holy Spirit, right? So we ask God for nice things. So if this body doesn't belong to us, we got to take care of this.
Pretty much.
Right?
Pretty much.
And now with every time, as I began progressing and becoming more in shape, guess what happened? My thinking became clearer. So now these bad business decisions started becoming good business decisions. Right? And one of the biggest things that God taught me was, you were basing a lot of your decisions on feelings.
Got it.
And that's where you went wrong.
So you have more of a sense of clarity now.
Yes. So everything this season right now, anyone that I ever meet, one of the biggest things that I said when I came out of this season was, I want to raise people's awareness as to why they're going through what they're going through, because it's more of a lesson than it is a discipline factor. And a discipline factor, basically what I'm saying is feeling like everything is against you. That season that you're going through is actually showing you that you are stronger than what you think you are.
Yeah.
Right? So that's why the biggest thing right now that I would tell people to be aware of is what they're putting in their body.
Yes.
And one of the things that so this 2-year season was so funny, because as bad as it may sound that I went through so much, but there was just so much revelation through it. And one of the things that I wanted to share with everyone in regards to my dad's situation, yes, he was battling cancer, but one of the real realities that I experienced was when my stepmom had him on a holistic diet, the doctors said that his cancer stagnated to the point where it almost seemed like it was regressing.
God.
Now, this is from a holistic diet standpoint. Then my dad had a sweet problem. The moment he stopped doing the holistic diet, the strict diet that he was on, when he was doing better, he went back to eating pastries. And guess what killed him? Processed sugar. Because once he went back to that, within 30 to 60 days, he was out of here.
Damn.
So if I looked at it from the standpoint of him not being here, right, then I wouldn't have understood the lesson there. What happened? Your food is also a spiritual attack.
Yes, it is.
Processed sugar is in everything.
Yeah.
If we were living in a society that really cared about your health, and you really do a deep dive into processed sugar, this stuff shouldn't have been in our food to begin with. Right?
You say it all the time.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's processed. So one of the tests, once again, this is from self-research. You can go on Google, because Google will always contradict anything you want to say. If this says it's good, you can find something in an article that this is bad. So I had to do my own research on my body. And I realized that there were things that I was eating that was making me feel depressed.
Oh, wow.
Once again, the awareness. There was things that I was drinking that started to put me in moods that I shouldn't have been in.
Like in a depression.
But it was feeding. It was feeding. So when people think that they're depressed, I'm not being disingenuous to what they're going through.
Right.
But the food is enhancing it to make it seem like it's bigger than what it is. And that's not necessarily true. The chemicals that they're putting in the food is feeding those negative attributes so that you can stay there. And guess what happens when you stay there? You are no longer a productive individual.
So you think it attacks you spiritually?
Not spiritually,
mentally,
and physically.
Okay.
Oh, but here's the thing though. One of the things if there's anything that I would love for people to research, look at parasites. And when you do the research on parasites, you'll realize that a lot of things that you're craving is not even you. It's this entity that's in your gut. That's making, you could research this. It actually hijacks your neurological system. So basically, you're thinking you're craving candy, but it's that thing craving candy.
Wow.
And guess what? Now it goes back to a biblical thing when Christ said, he didn't say if you fast, he said when you fast.
Yes. Good point.
That's actually a command a lot of people overlook.
Yes. Good point.
Why did Jesus tell us to when you fast? Because he knows your stomach can actually destroy you. And you have to Christ also puts you in something to take in consideration. If you don't control your stomach, it will destroy you. Because it's going to crave everything that's not good for you, right? But the bad part about it is everything that's bad for you tastes so dang good.
Good. Yeah.
And that's how the enemy masks everything.
Yes.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
It's we're in a season right now, especially when you start now. For the guys who are 35 plus, things become a little bit more surreal, especially when you start getting in the 40 category, because 50 is not too far away, right?
Yes, it's not.
Right. So I would advise everyone moving forward, if you're going through something, whatever it is, be very aware of what you're putting in your body.
Yeah.
Right. Just literally there's a particular brand, and I'm not going to name them because I'm not trying to end up in some bit of lawsuit with them. But every time I eat this product, I can assure you 30 minutes to an hour, I'm going to feel a certain type of way.
Damn. So it puts you like in a depressed.
Yeah, but the thing about it was I needed to experience this.
Got it.
Because I wouldn't be able to relay this information to you if I never did the research on myself.
Right.
I didn't go online. I did this myself.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And that's why even with the fasting from alcohol, right? You got to be careful, because that's not the same alcohol you were drinking 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Why do you think you wake up with even a worse hangover than you probably ever did before, if not a terrible headache?
Yeah.
Because it's the chemicals in there. What they're doing is they're thinking about things from a monetary standpoint rather than an individuality, which is you, right?
Yes.
So, so you got to be careful, pretty much, man. But yeah, back to your point. That's what got me into fitness, which was I needed something to combat this period in my life.
Yeah. So
So my spiritual growth, which led to my physical growth, led me to my deliverance. Which now ultimately I found out all this time what my life purpose is.
yeah, that's dope.
Now, granted, you got to think about this. I made money in so many ways, right?
Right.
I've been broke more times than I've been rich. But finding my life purpose surpasses all of that. Because me finding out what I'm here for on earth actually gave me the joy and the peace that I've always needed. Yeah, because everything that I was purchasing from a materialistic standpoint, I was looking for a feeling.
And it never fulfilled you.
It never fulfilled me. That's why I kept buying more things.
Yeah.
Right. Then I thought for a second, I need more people around me. Right. So I would bring in more people around me, not realizing that the very thing that I'm searching for is in me.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's why I advise anyone, even now, I didn't even know I was going to go to this, even from a relationship standpoint. The person that you're dating shouldn't be the reason you're happy.
Bingo. I say it all the time.
You should be happy.
Pretty much.
You get what I'm saying?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
And because at the same time, only one entity is created for you to love and in a state where you trust them, which is God, right?
Yeah.
So that's why the Bible will tell you, put no confidence in flesh.
Pretty much.
It tells you, do not trust flesh, like your flesh.
Your flesh.
Yeah, you get what I'm saying? So yeah, and as for myself, even from a dating standpoint, one of the key things that I realized this season that I never realized was I never knew who I was.
Wow.
That was my thing. I never knew who I was. And this season showed me who I am all this time.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So now it makes dating a little bit more approachable, right? Because now the intentionality is there, right?
Right.
So, and one of the things is like, it's like you're focused on your goal, right? And you're as you know, for someone who's you desire that someone to be in your life, when you're on this path on your goal, this person comes into your life and you see yourself still heading in that direction, you know who sent them. Now, someone comes into your life and you start going left, right, zigzag, if not back, you know who sent them as well.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Right? But once again, these could be eliminated if you know who you are. Because there's some things that where people are so broken and they're relying their happiness on someone that they run. Matter of fact, they speed through all the red flags.
Yes. And they don't have no discernment.
Yeah, the discernment factor, right? So it actually helps you out. Yeah, it actually helps you out in many ways when you become more of a thinking person. We're reacting more from society conditioned us to be feeling individuals.
Yes.
That's why the Bible always tells you, like, the renewing of your mind, of your mind. Why does it always refer back to renewing your mind? Because that is the number one thing that they're after. It's your mind. If you can't control whatever the mind feels, whatever the mind believes, the body's going to follow, right?
Pretty much.
But if the body is actually the one doing whatever it wants to do, unfortunately, it's a great servant when you're controlling it, but it's a horrible master because it'll lead you to your destruction. You get what I'm saying? So these are things that I pretty much pour into my brothers and sisters that I come across, and just letting them know that, that this is what you're going to have to do, you know?
Right.
Yeah. So, but yeah.
Right.
To your question.
Yeah, and I can vouch for that, bro. You know, just sitting here, just listening to your testimony, man, you're very passionate for people.
Yeah.
You're very passionate with health. You're like one of the only very few individuals that intertwine fitness with spirituality. And man, just listening to you, man, you the modern day Samson. Without the Delilah. Without the Delilah.
Yeah.
You the modern day Samson, man.
I appreciate it.
Man, you're strong physically, you're strong mentally, and just your words of affirmation, bro.
Yeah.
Right? Can touch someone, right?
Yeah.
So, and let me ask you this question, man. The discipline part of it, right? Because motivation will get you there, will get you to the gym, or will get you in a spiritual space, but it's the discipline part. Where did your discipline come from?
See, the thing with motivation is I was once too a motivation addict.
Right.
So I would sit and wait for motivation to come.
Right.
But once again, that's part of your feelings.
Yes.
So you can't rely on it because your feelings are never consistent.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So the discipline, feelings are obedient to discipline. There's days, I spent more days not wanting to work out than I did want to work out. But I knew I had to work out. Because I knew at some point if I didn't get the job done then, I was going to regret it later.
Right.
Right? And that's what ends up happening with a lot of us. A lot of us start working out, we lose the motivation, and guess what? 60 pounds later, we start regretting the fact why we didn't stay consistent with it. Right?
Yes.
So these are things where you're going to have to be real with yourself. And especially if you're a parent, right? And it's like, well, before I go into that, we all have discipline. We just don't apply discipline in the areas we need to apply it. If you can get your butt up to go to work when you don't feel like it, you got discipline. If you're a parent, you wake up, you say, you know what? I don't feel like taking these kids to school. I got to take them to school. I got to fix these. But guess what? The discipline factor is there. You just got to use that same principle into something that's going to benefit you.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest thing behind it, you know, because realistically, if I didn't abide in discipline, well, pretty much, practice discipline, I wouldn't have been here right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? So just a segment of the testimony, had I not came out of that season and learned what I needed to, and then posted whatever I needed to post to share the vulnerability. Now, granted, I'm not a vulnerable person, right? Because at the end of the day, I grew up. You know my upbringing. I pretty much had to raise myself for a bit. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. But at the same time, it's like, if I don't take that step towards growth, then I'm not here right now.
Yeah.
But guess what? We all have a story. And I'm excited to hear everyone's story.
Yes.
You know? And that's one of the reasons why I'm being more vocal now about being vulnerable, is because I do want to hear that person's story who's going through something.
Yeah.
Because I do want to celebrate with them.
Yes.
And that's one thing that I just, everyone who knows me, I just love people. And I love happy people.
And I can vouch for that.
Yeah. I love,
that.
and I would try my best, if not almost empty myself out to make sure that this person is happy, right? But even that has to come out of wisdom, because I almost destroyed myself like that.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. But yeah, bro.
Yeah, and that's dope, bro. Recently, I saw that you, because you haven't been active on social media, and as recent, you released a post.
Right.
And just reading the comments, man, and a lot of people was just motivated by it. Just reading your comments, just seeing how physical and shape you are, the mental aspect, just me reading your post, reading your caption.
Right.
I was reading it from more of a spiritual standpoint.
Right.
You know,
right.
versus a physical standpoint.
Right.
And just reading the comments, it touched a lot of people. Right. So when you said that you are a people's person, a lot of people actually look up to you, whether you know it or not. Right. A lot of people look up to you. A lot of people look up to you for motivation as well. Right. So I just wanted to tell you that I'm very proud of you with that. I'm very proud of you from where you came from.
Right.
You know, just losing your father, losing a friend, losing your auntie.
Right.
Most people would have just shut down and would have just gave up on life.
Yeah, they would have, but that's the thing though. That's this is where you're going to have to take control of the wheel when things are starting to spiral out of control, right? Because what ends up happening, and I've witnessed this, where people come across where they've experienced something tragic, right?
Yes.
And it's handicapped them for years.
For years.
Right?
And
still
we know a few people.
Yes, no growth, no nothing. They're just still there.
Right.
Unfortunately, the world is still going on.
Yes.
I hate to say that, but you have to keep going.
Yeah.
Right? And I get it. I mean, granted, we get to a point where life deals us a weird hand, right? But guess what? We got to keep going.
You got to keep going.
You got to keep fighting, you know? And that's one of the things, like, I had to stay away from social media for a bit. Now, granted, there was, because I knew, I started to do a lot of research. When I say a lot of research in the sense of like the power of the mind, right? And when you start reading a lot of books like Think and Grow Rich and all countless other books that deals, you know, with the whole aspect of pretty much you believing who you are and feeling who you are, and then it would manifest itself. That is a very real thing.
Right.
Because when I was out of shape, I visualized myself in shape, despite, you know, with everything going on, me using that as a bit of fuel.
Yeah.
But at the same time, what I want people to start doing in life in general, first and foremost, be aware of what you're putting in your body. Another thing too, be very aware of how you're spending your time.
Yes.
Because the people you keep around you is going to be it's going to play a big factor into the outcome of your future.
You say that all the time.
Yeah, I'm telling you that it is very real, you know, and always surround yourself around people who are pretty much where you, if not above you, right? Above you. Now, granted, obviously we still have friends who are rich in their own ways, right? Because it's not necessarily monetary. There's people that I know that's rich in wisdom, spiritual wisdom, if not whatever, you know. But at the end of the day, you do have to keep a good environment around you for you to thrive in. Yeah. You know, but yeah, bro. And also one of the things that I would love for people to do is, if you're on social media and you're addicted to it, right? I tell people, change your algorithm to where it's showing you what you want to be. So my algorithm was nothing but fitness, right? So if you were to check my Instagram, you'd be scrolling on, it's either fitness, something business related, something spiritual related. So now if I am on social media, I'm still being fed.
Wow. Man, it's funny you said that, because I came across a post like that today.
Right.
A gentleman was speaking on that. He said you have to change your algorithm.
Yeah.
Right? And you just hit it right on the head. And
yeah, because
I agree with that.
Yeah, because you have to keep going.
You got to keep going.
Like even in traffic, I don't even complain about traffic anymore. You know why? Yeah. Because in the car I'm listening to an audiobook. And I advise people, visualize, know what you want to be, know who you are, and feed that person, feed that vision. Yeah. And I can promise you that vision of yourself will become the reality version of you.
Right. And let me ask you this though, bro. What would you say to a 40-plus-year-old man? Because I have a few friends, that just completely stopped working out after the pandemic, right? I know a few individuals, they reached out to me and they said, yo, man, AJ, have you been going to the gym? Man, I've been struggling to get back to the gym post the pandemic. Like, I just don't have the energy. I don't have the desire anymore to get to the gym. So would you say, is that more like a spiritual thing, mentally? Like, what is it? Like, what would your advice be to those individuals?
So my advice would be come up with a plan. That's what I had to do. So what I would do is, I knew for a fact there's days when I was going to be lazy, right? I'd keep a shot of pre-workout available.
Okay.
There's times when I leave my office and I don't want to work out. I purposely would start drinking it because I can't go to sleep on it, right? Right. So now I have to go burn off the energy. So there's sometimes where you're going to have to outsmart yourself.
Yes.
You get what so that's really what it boils down to. Just come up with a strategy.
Right.
And one of the key strategies that I always say, just get to the gym.
Yes.
Just get there.
Yes.
Right. And also keep that pre-workout, because if you just, there's some people who are blessed to do it on their own, like just without whatever. For me, I either took a shot of espresso or took a pre-workout.
Okay, I'm glad you said that. So besides espresso, what other pre-workouts do you recommend that you think, that's pretty good for an individual that's, that's struggling?
I would say this, what helped for me, for the evening times, I'll take an espresso. Because it's easy. The pre-workouts for some reason would keep me up late at night. Got it. So that means I had to learn that I got to start taking it earlier in the day.
Got it.
Right.
Got it.
Once I started doing that, but back to the advice, what I would give a 40-plus-year-old person is start off small. A small win is better than no win, right?
Yes.
So even if you go to the gym for like 30 minutes, build on that. And another thing too, I do 500 to 1,000 push-ups a day, right? Yeah. Now, the reason why I do now, before someone thinks that I do it straight, it's not straight. It's broken up throughout my day.
Yes.
So I'll do 250 in the morning when I wake up, 250 here, 250 there.
Damn,
and I don't
250 in the morning?
Yeah. But here's the thing though, because it's conditioning our mind to start doing things it doesn't want to do.
Yeah.
We have a lot of things that we need to get done. We just don't feel like we're doing it, right?
Yeah.
So I do that more for a mental workout than it is a physical workout. Yeah, so that's one of the reasons. But you're gonna, and for any man plus 40 plus, man, and the reason being is because of the fact of 50 is not too far from there.
Yeah.
You have to start taking care of your health immediately.
Yeah.
Especially if you're a parent and you want to see your kids. You being healthy isn't just a you thing.
Yeah.
It goes further than that. You got family who love you. You got kids who love you.
Yeah.
If you're a parent.
Yeah.
Why not do that for those around you?
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So that's one of the things why I'm a big advocate for people to take care of their health. Now, granted, I've been there. I've had the cheat days. I've had the days where there's some products that I could, man, there's one soda brand that got me in a chokehold. Now, granted, I'm not going to advertise it till they give me a brand, some bit of ambassadorship.
Right.
But it has me in a chokehold. But guess what, though? I had to find ways to substitute that.
Right.
So I would drink sparkling water. Shout out to Saratoga.
Shout out.
I would drink sparkling water, and if I'm craving that sugar, you know how you crave that sweetness.
Yes.
I'll find 100% organic juice, whatever it is, and I'll splash some in there, and that'll be my version of a juice.
Oh,
if
smart.
not a soda, if not a soda, because it's giving my carbonation as well as the sugar. So I had, once again, this is what happens when you start planning.
Yeah.
How you're gonna attack this goal, which is you being in shape.
Right.
Because you can't just feelings your way through it, because I promise you, you're not. Listen. If you do it, I would love to hear the story. I would love to celebrate with you, but I found it for myself. You got to plan against yourself,
bro. You just said two important things, man, and I hope you guys caught this. You said plan and strategy.
Right.
Those two, plan and strategy, those two go together.
Yeah.
Right. Because you can have a plan, but you don't have a strategy.
Right.
You can have a strategy, but you don't have a plan.
Right.
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 And that's very important, because now when you have that plan, you work in that plan, you have that strategy, you know how to maneuver. Because of course, obstacles gonna come. Obstacles gonna come, because there's no such thing as a perfect plan, right? You may set a goal. You know what? I want to complete this project within 2 months. 2 months come, but you haven't completed that project. So that's where you have to go and strategize, right? And this goes back to the fitness part as well. Like you said, start off with 30 minutes.
Right.
You know, whether it's 20 minutes, 30 minutes. And you just build on that, you know?
Right.
And that's where the strategy part comes in at.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's how you become successful at it.
But that's
good point, bro.
That's in. See, that's why the thing with discipline is it's not only isolated to just fitness. It's all areas of your life.
Of your life, yes.
That's the only way you're going to be successful in anything is discipline, right? And it's not by chance or whatever. But yeah, that's why for just an uplifting sense, I tell a person, even if you do 5 minutes of something, 10 minutes of something, that's better than what you did yesterday, which was nothing. 1% better is, I'm telling you, you can build on 1%.
Yeah.
And you can continue to go. And you got to find out what your why is.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing with me being in shape. The thing with being in shape had nothing to do with, oh, look at me, I got muscles, or it's means to an end. It just makes you more attentive to what it is I got to tell you.
Yeah.
Right. So now my thing that I got to tell you may not even be fitness. It may be something else. But I already got your attention. So you being in shape, it's calling card.
Yeah.
Right. So that's how you get the things where it's called like pretty privilege or whatever the case may be. Automatically, people are just gravitated to them just based on their beauty. Right. Yeah. Until you realize, wait a minute, this person has substance behind it. Yeah. Now, granted, I'm not saying I'm beautiful. I'm just saying that. I was just using that in context with the pretty, whatever the case may be. Right. So. There's just some things that comes effortless. That's the better way to put it. But yeah, one of the things that I would say for all ages in general, especially if you're a young man as well, if you're in shape now, maintain it. Because I promise you, you'll thank yourself later on from that.
Right. You know, it's funny you said that because shout out to Kevin Samuels. He used to always say, all men be an athlete for life. Kevin Samuels used to always say that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
He used to always say that.
Yeah.
Be an athlete for life, man.
And then another thing, too, that you have to understand is if you're not someone who's one of the things, too, about this season that I was very grateful for. Now, once again, despite it being, as I continue to repeat this, as hard of a 2 years it was, once again, it was the biggest blessing to happen to me because one thing it made me realize is the world is still evolving.
Pretty much.
So you have to evolve with what's going on around you. So there's new things you're going to have to learn. Right. There's new books you may have to read. Right. Yeah. With just something dealing with what's going on culturally around you. Now, it's more so good for conversation starters because you don't want to be in a circle where people are talking about something and you're just oblivious to what's going on. Right. And I'm sure we've all been there. But that's one of the reasons why one of my goals that I've been accomplishing, thankfully, is reading a book, at least one book a week, if not listening to an audio book a week. And it's more curated towards where I perceive myself to be post here.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm constantly learning things that I wouldn't have cared to learn prior.
Yeah.
You know, so that's why it woke up a different hunger in me. So with the world evolving mentally and spiritually, I had to keep evolving. Right. Yeah. You know, so yeah, bro.
I love it, bro, man. Dope, man. Dope. I love the conversation, bro. So before we end this segment, bro, what advice do you have for people that's struggling with weight loss, struggling to get to the gym, just overall in life? What is your advice, bro?
My biggest advice is if God keep waking you up, you matter to this world. And I would continue to drill this into people's head. Please be very mindful of taking care of your health.
Okay.
You can't enjoy a good or bad day if you're not here. A rich man who's laying on his deathbed ain't asking for more money.
Right.
He's asking for more time.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So with that being said, my advice to anyone is first and foremost, before you do anything, have a real talk with yourself and know who you are. Because if you know who you are, then you'll stop dealing with a lot of BS.
Deep.
Yeah, because once you know who you are, can't no one tell you who you are.
Who you are.
That's what happened. A lot of us right now, through our upbringing and I guess the culture that we live in right now, a lot of people don't know who they are. Now, granted, a lot are successful, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they know who they are. They're just successful in their craft, which generates whatever it generates, right? But when you sit with them, you start realizing, like, wait a minute, this person is still missing something important, which is here.
Yeah.
Like, if I know who I am, you can't tell me who I'm not, you know, because I know who I am, you know? So, but I was just using that as an example. So for everyone right now, just an advice standpoint, if you're going through depression, anxiety, whatever it is, if it's not feeding who you are to be the better version of yourself, I would say the first thing is to have a real talk with yourself. Know who you are, know what you're going to deal with, what your non-negotiables are, and these are things that you're going to stand firm on, especially your health and your fitness. Because I could promise to you, the more in shape you are, the clearer your thoughts are. And you're more prone to make the right decisions.
Yeah.
I don't trust my feelings no more. Feelings made me lose in Vegas. All my bets, bro. I've been on a terrible betting spree, and that was just all feelings.
Yeah,
which was one of the biggest blessings from that was, you see what your feelings does.
Yes.
Just to give you an example. Right. So you can't trust your feelings because they can be deceiving.
Yeah.
So that's one of my biggest things is don't trust your feelings. Start moving from logic.
Thank you, bro.
And that goes for just everyone from all ages, whatever on up. You know? Yeah.
Appreciate that, bro.
Yes, sir.
So where can they find you on social media, man?
Well, I guess I need to be a little bit more active, but on Instagram, I'm on, my social handle is Winn07, WINN07.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that your only social media?
That's the only for now. But granted, speaking of evolving, I've said I got to get into TikTok and Twitter and Thread, which I plan on doing once I get back. But I just started to get my feet wet with the Instagram. Just to pretty much show everyone, okay, this is where I've been. If you haven't heard from me, it had nothing to do with us having conflict. And that's one thing I want to tell people too. If you have someone and that they just disappear and you don't hear from them, don't automatically think there's an issue.
Yes.
Now, they could be going through something that they're just not communicating, right? So before we write someone off, make sure they're okay.
Pretty much, yeah.
That's one of my biggest things. Make sure that you're okay. And one of the things too, fair warning, is when you start realizing, when you want to become a better version of yourself, you're going to find yourself talking less and less to people that you usually talk to. And it's nothing against them, because what happens from an energetic standpoint is now you're going to start surrounding yourself around people who's more in that realm. So me wanting to be in shape, guess what? When I go to the gym, guess what? I'm around a bunch of folks who works out. Right? But I'm saying that to say this is like, whatever that was keeping you and certain friends together, say it was clubbing, going out to drink, or whatever the case may be, you'll find yourself less and less hanging out with them. Well, granted, it's not a problem. It just, that's not the version of you anymore.
Yes.
You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's
new season.
Yeah, it's just a new version of yourself that you're working on. And yeah, bro. And just once again, be mindful what you put in your body. And then when you hit that depression point, whatever, think on what was the last thing I ate or drank. That's a start. Because that will start making you notice, like it'll make you more aware. You know what? I need to stop drinking that. I need to stop eating that. Because it's starting to make me believe that my situation is worse than it is, and it's actually not. You get what I'm saying? And that's why when people actually go into like self-medication, that's why I said that you can't out drink it, you can't out post it, you can't out smoke it, is because at the end of the day, if you don't deal with it, it's always going to keep resurfacing itself. So bro,
it will always be an internal problem.
Until you put it to bed. You have to confront everything you're running from. You have to confront it to get to that next, because what's going to end up happening is it's going to try its best to go to the next level with you.
Okay.
Appreciate
it, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
I hope you guys love this segment with me and my brother. Of course, he came back like Mace. Welcome back.
Welcome back, right?
Welcome back like Mace. You know what I'm saying? This is my brother, man. The modern day Samson. Without Delilah, though.
Without Delilah.
Shout
out Saratoga.
Shout out Saratoga, man. I want to thank you guys, you beautiful people, for tapping in with me. You guys, you can follow me on all social media platforms. You can follow me on TikTok, Instagram. You can also follow me on my YouTube channel. Please subscribe. It's Talks with AJ Podcast. I see you guys been watching the episodes. You guys been tapping in with me. Just please hit the subscribe button. Hit the bell notifications, so when I drop episodes, you guys receive the notifications as well. Once again, if you guys have any topics you guys would like me to discuss, or you may know someone that you would like me to bring on the platform, please drop your comments below. Thank you again. Thank you for tapping in with me and my brother. Peace.
Later, guys.